Today it's the big one as we put Jaguar's all-new XE to the test. Cue dramatic music as we explain how this model is make or break for the Coventry Cat.
Or we could just get on and review the XE as we would any other car, the good, the bad and the ugly, although looking at it I don't think we're going to find anything too ugly about its styling. You'll notice about the XE that it gets better as you go towards the front. So this boot, while this opening's quite decent for a saloon and I quite like these extra little spaces at the side, overall capacity is not as good as a BMW 3 Series, an Audi A4 or a Mercedes C-Class, which are of course its main rivals. And then there's the fact that if you want the split folding rear seats, firstly it costs extra, secondly I think they just forgot to do it because the switches you use to operate it are so flimsy they would look out of place on a Dacia, let alone a Jaguar. Look, it just comes off in your hand. Rubbish. Chances are you're not going to be overwhelmed by the XE when you try these back seats either. For a start, the opening itself is quite narrow and I'm 5'11", so I'm by no means a giant, and yet still my head is just about brushing the ceiling here. There's knee room, it's okay, but there's not much room to get your feet underneath the seat, so it gets a bit uncomfortable. My feet are literally wedged in there. Then there's this big transmission tunnel in the middle. The middle seat itself is very narrow, but if I can get my size 10s either side, it's not particularly comfortable. My head's even more jammed into the ceiling now. Obviously, most people with these cars are going to have kids rather than adults travelling in the back, and in that case, it's fine, but a BMW 3 Series, an Audi A4 or a Mercedes-Benz C-Class are still better in the back seats. Are you spotting a theme here? It's when you get in the front of the XE that it really begins to make sense. For a start, there's loads of adjustment in the seat and in the steering wheel here, so I can get a really good driving position nice and low down. The build quality is also very good. It feels very well made. Obviously in this car we've got leather seats which are an extra, but still this feels like a really premium product capable of standing up to the opposition. And this central infotainment screen, which is shared with Land Rover, works really well. You can order your XE with either a supercharged or turbocharged petrol engine, or more popular still will be this 2-litre turbo diesel, available with either 160 or 180 horsepower. It's a good engine, although it's noisier than I thought it was going to be, I have to say, particularly at idle and at low speed when accelerating. Once up to speed, the XE quietens down to become a relaxed cruiser with a very good ride quality, making for an excellent motorway car. Gearbox wise, there's a 6-speed manual or an optional 8-speed automatic as we're testing here. And despite the odd inconsistency where it doesn't change down quite when you want it, it is a very good gearbox. As far as the handling goes, there's a real harmony to all the major controls. The steering is crisp and direct, and Jaguar's managed to tune the suspension so that the car both absorbs bumps but also doesn't lean over too much in corners. Aside from some slightly dodgy rear visibility, the XE is also as easy to drive in town as it is fun to drive on the open road. So the XE has good fuel economy, it's well equipped and it has strong resale values, all of which means it's a car we feel happy in recommending. But is it a match for its German rivals, the BMW 3 Series, Audi A4 and Mercedes C-Class? Well, it doesn't demolish them, but it is a very, very close call. We wouldn't blame you for choosing any. In fact, why not tell us which one you would choose in the comments section below? As for me, I think I'd want to check detailed reviews of the XE against the BMW 3 Series before making up my mind. I wonder where I could do that. Oh, hang on. You could go to Telegraph Cars website, or why not subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking down here.